delivering membership experience virtually, and the second one is for
operation, adding value to customers and partners.
Amazing. That's Gina for you, who is also hosting the second one. You are. Hey, is recording started? Right, amazing. Yeah. Cool. So we wanted to have this consultancy with these specifically two topics because we want to address from the regional office side these two important topics which have been asked to a lot of us when we do our commission calls, meetings, and we speak to the MCPs. So these are the topics we thought let's re-emphasize. We already spoke about some of them in APC in some context, but this is specifically for the MCs. So once again, thank you so much for joining us, and let's directly dive into the whole consultancy space. Next. Amazing. So we have, wow, animation and all. Good job, me. We have check-in. Let's have a quick check-in about how you guys feeling with all COVID situation. Some of you are already in like the second or third week of quarantine. Some of you are already in the second week or first week, just started, already bored. So we just want to understand how is the overall feeling in the MC network right now. We have some MCPs here and we have most of the MCBPs here. So we just want to understand. So I can take from a couple of people. So who wants to go first? We just want to understand how you guys feeling. Are you guys chilling, ready to roll, sleeping, emotional?
Yeah. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, you can just unmute and share.
Are you guys shy?
Okay guys, so I would like to share. So hello people, this is Priyansh here. I'm currently the MCVPTM Bangladesh. So what we are feeling currently in this COVID situation is like how can we plan, like how can we engage our membership as much as we can through virtual basis because we cannot meet them physically, and that's why we are planning like a lot of webinars and a lot of conference, our national conference for them itself. At the same point of time, we are chilling in the MC house. We are just doing work and enjoying with each other. So just looking forward to this session so much because I think it will help me a lot to deliver things in my network. And yeah, with this I check in.
Thanks, Priyansh. Nice to talk to you. Can you select the next person who wants? Or anyone want to go next? We'll take it for a couple of. Yes.
Hi.
Okay, I'll go. So hi everyone, my name is Valdi. I'm the MCP of ASEC Indonesia.
Whoa. MCP in the house.
Shut up. Just kidding. Okay. Actually, what I'm feeling right now is because like for now, like my MC team is doing working from home, and so we're doing self quarantine for 2 weeks already. So the first time, like when we started to do the working from home, it was super hard for me because like usually we work physically, but then in the office, but then like now we need to do everything virtually. So I was struggling a lot in the beginning of the working from home period. But then like I'm feeling now more productive because in the end it's all about how we really manage our time very well. So yeah, I think me and my team are doing quite well in terms of managing our times, and we are still very, very productive, especially when it comes to members' engagement. So yeah, but at the same time, I'm also enjoying myself. I'm chilling by myself because me, myself, and I is lonely because working from home. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna choose Kendra from India.
Thanks, Valdi. Welcome.
Okay. Thanks, Valdi. So how's everything? By the way, hi everyone. I'm Kendra Gandhi, MCVP People Management for ISIC in India. So how things are going here? The things are going pretty good. The members are super engaged, something I was not expecting. Like specifically in the past 1 week, all the local committees are doing a lot of things virtually. Like they're having a series of webinars with the members. They are playing some games and they're like having virtual drive challenges and everything, and it's pretty cool to see that we have reached a stage that the members have started saying that okay, we don't want to be more engaged, and this was something I was not expecting. But at the same point of time that members are not feeling negative about the situation, but I think the teams are coming very personally for me as well as the MC team. All of us are in our respective homes. We are not in the MC flat, and it's more than the situation of not working together. It's kind of missing the team as well, being in the office and seeing each other every single day. So that's something I'm missing a lot. But personally, for me, it's good as well. I'm taking a lot of rest because I was also not well. But as a whole, it's going good. So I'm really looking forward for today's call and seeing what's in store for today.
Nice.
Yes, welcome, Kendra.
Thank you so much.
Can I have some other more people?
Yeah,
One,
like
two.
2 more people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Who wants to go next? We had check-in from Bangladesh, then Indonesia and India. How is the East AP doing?
East ASP.
East
It's
AP.
HP.
East and Southeast
East
ASP.
No.
Hi guys,
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
it's Vietnam.
What? Hi, go. Hi.
We have a
Can you
fan.
hear me?
That-
Hi.
Go.
So in Vietnam, I think things are going fine. Not really well, not so bad. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty. We're a little bit lost. Of course, membership, leadership body, even us. It's a lot of uncertainty right now, but we're trying to work through it. We're also having virtual internal campaigns. LCs are having their LCMs virtually, posting a lot online, which seems cool. But we also have just recruited new members, so it's very scary. Like, how are these new members going to get engaged with ISIC if the recruitment was done virtually? Their first touch points are all virtual, so that's what I'm concerned about the most. And yeah, I'm very interested to see and learn from this webinar how we can engage the people. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Welcome to the space. Welcome to the space.
One last person?
Last person.
Or do you want to? No, you go. I mean, our team.
Okay. All right. Does anyone want to share? Last person, or you can go ahead.
You can say about how our.
All right, cool. No worries. So I'll go. So from the regional office side also, we have been working virtually since the last 3 weeks. Today is already the 16th or the 17th day, something we have been working virtually. It's been intense because like you guys all know that we had virtual APC last week and we were preparing. So we were technically supposed to be in Nepal delivering the conference physically, but then the whole thing happened and now we are delivering from it here virtually. The last 3 weeks have been intense, but the thing is still we have our regular routines which are happening with the MCPs, with the commission. It's been challenging since we live in the work with the same people we're together. It's a good thing that we are together, except Koni, she is in MOC. But then definitely working virtually is something regularly, it's part of our job regularly. Whenever we are on visits or something, we tend to work with each other virtually. So that part is not difficult bit, but the difficult bit is just staying in this place. So in the Philippines, we have something enhanced quarantine where only one person is allowed to go out of the house even to buy the necessary things. So I'm that person in the team, and then the rest of the people are just stuck at home for the last 3 weeks. It's been intense, but then yeah, we have been enjoying, and virtually PC was good. It's indeed good. So we are ready to roll with whatever the situation throws at us.
Yeah.
So that's it. We are all checking in the meeting. So before we begin, I would like to mention something. In the registration form itself, we asked you that why are you joining? Why do you want to join, and what are your major expectations? So we consolidated that your major expectations, and then we consolidated into these things, these 7 things. This majority of you want to know about the membership experience design, which is something which is something we spoke about in virtual APC also, but just would like to give you a bit more of go into detail. Then how to engage with my immediate team. For example, we have some of the NCPs here, we have some of the NCVPs. You want to learn about how do I engage in this virtual period about my next immediate team, and most importantly, how to do it on a virtual platform. So that is something you guys want to know. So we try to touch upon that topic also. Something urgent to downscale urgently to my network. That is something you guys want. So we have certain links. We will. Your MCPs have been getting these booklets and everything in the MCP call, but then we'll directly share you and also highlight the importance of you going through it and sharing your network. Some of the GCPs from other entities. So there is a drive we have compiled of all the GCPs. So we'll be sharing that also today and learn something new. Some of you just are just here to understand what is the RO doing and what is something more downscale. And last but not least, ICOM and marketing. How is the synergy? How exactly the ICOM should look like in our entities. One of the major reasons me and I are doing this session together is because since now everything is virtual, your membership experiences are going along in parallel with the internal com strategies which you have, because everything has become virtual, right? So your ICOM is something now, one of the most important things, and the change management and ICOM, how you guys planning it and delivering it in the network, that has taken over by ICOM. The network management is basically ICOM now. So that's why me and I are doing this together. So we have tried to cover most of your expectation, but okay, and this is the agenda for the, this is the agenda. So we'll be going to understanding our members as a customer. We'll be going deeper into a bit of their empathy, what are they doing, thinking, feeling, doing. A little bit more into understanding how to engagement, what are the virtual touch points in which you can do engagements, like how to have conferences, summits virtually, or team department meetings, or what should be the JDs. This is one of the important also requests you guys had, like what should be the JDs for membership. Some of you mentioned, I think Gogo mentioned that you have new members recruited and onboarded, but they don't have JDs, and now it's a concern for you that how you want to engage them. So we also have some sample JDs for you. And then we will also be talking about some ICOM campaigns, and at the end we'll take Q&A. So this is how, based on your expectations of the topics, we have created this agenda. But before we move forward, I have to have certain expectation settings from all of you, that this space was designed for us to discuss and learn from each other. So if you have any expectations that we will be delivering something, that there's going to be a checklist, or this is the regional office stand, that this is how you should move forward in this virtual, in this, the whole COVID situation, or it's not like that. It's basically a consultancy space, and it's not a webinar or a session. So this space is going to be more free, more open for discussion, for us to discuss and learn from each other more and better. So how it is designed is about first 45 minutes or 1 hour, we'll have one-way content and some activities for you to discuss and share. And last half an hour, we'll keep it for Q&A and discussion space. So this is how it's overall going to be. Second thing, there's nothing right or wrong in this situation. We are not providing any specific knowledge or call to action. So don't expect me, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 checklist. This is how what you need to do, because the situation is something unprecedented and unexpected. So we do not know how it will stop, when it will stop. But so we do not have anything, any ideal situations or solution for you guys. But this space is for us to communicate and discuss what is the best possible way to move forward with what is all the resources we have got. So there's nothing right or wrong. It's just that that's why there are no specific call to action. And last but not the least is please proactively speak up and share your challenge.
Hello. I'm sharing.
Okay, we're back. Yeah.
All right, cool,
Sorry.
perfect. Sorry for the technical error. And last but not the least, what I was saying in terms of expectation is that please speak up. This is, and proactively speak up, because this is a space, amazing. Thanks, Nia. Because we want to understand your challenges only when you speak with each other, only because we are all going through these challenges together. This is not affecting just one or two entities. It's affecting the whole organization in the region, and the nature of the organization is that we're interdependent on each other. Exchanges cannot happen as one entity. So we want to understand your challenges. We want to support you. We want to support each other. So please proactively share your ideas and thought processes and thinking. So these are the basic. I hope you are on the same page. And yeah, that's it in the beginning. I will pass on the next part, membership insights, to Ms. Neely.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Mindy. I'm currently in marketing, so I also handle ICOM. Just that I did before. So in this space, the first thing Someone say, hi, Amy. Yeah, NJ, the boss. The boss. Okay. So hi guys. So right now, I think first when we go to the member insight, why we choose this topic to talk in the beginning, I think the most important thing that we need to design the whole membership engagement strategy needs to come from the inside the customer. But the first thing I think I'm gonna ask you to do, what I said, wait. Okay. So I just sent you one link. If you go to this link, you can see and click on of member inside. Then you can have the input here. So the first thing that I think what we can do right now is we can have a time to like very quick reflect on what is the thing that happened in the region right now in your entity, and then we can share with each other. The first question that I want you to have 1 minute to think and let put it down is about what's it on your member mind. Okay, done. We just adjust it so you can get in it right now. So the first thing is let's put your name, your entity, and maybe you can put the product you are working in. And then let's have 1 minute to think. Okay, so right now, in your opinion, what is on your member mind at the moment? What do they think? Yeah, you don't need to write a lot, but let's write everything that you observe in the network so far, and let's write the thing that you see that member is thinking or member because they are fear or something. Yeah, I see some people start writing down. The product is, yeah, so I see here some members say, okay, MCT. Okay, so if you only know about what your member, what's on your member mind, or what are you thinking right now, then the next part is let's have a 1 minute to think about. So what is the thing they are doing right now in the network? So are they having some project, or are they doing something, or they having some training, or they are just chilling? So what is the thing they are doing, or they planning to do right now? Yeah. Okay. And then also the last part is very important. What are they feeling right now? Okay. So if you are done, you can type in the chat that I'm done. You are done. Nice. Some people are already done. Mm. Some people are already done. I see here. More. Okay, so I can give you like 30 seconds more and then you can see. Mm. Okay, so I think most of you already done. Right now, what we can see is I would like to have someone from here that you can share about what is the thing that share about uh, what is the thing that your member or your members doing or your member, so that we can share with each other about the current situation. Okay, yeah. Maybe Jose, can you share? Jose. Jose?
Oh, me. Sorry, I was wondering who you called. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear that. Hi, everyone. My name is Jose. I'm from MC Australia, MCVP OGV. So just answering the question, what's on your mind? What do we think what is on members' mind at the moment? I think because like since there's lack of operations, members are unsure about what they're getting out of ISIC because like their roles and responsibilities are like they're changing. So it's very, so right now what VPs and TLs and like what LCPs are doing is finding different projects for them to have more ownership on certain things that they can do during the meantime if they're not doing operations. But still not all LCs are on the same level. So some members have different roles and responsibilities. Some people are still trying to figure it out. Otherwise, what other people have been trying to do is doing a lot more engagement strategies. So like at least keeping them still engaged with ISIC. So there are some like fun activities and things like that. But maybe right now, like it still isn't as fulfilling because maybe some LCPs or like some LCs are still trying to find ways to like to still engage them beyond operations. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. Can we have some MC sharing? Can Singapore, Levon?
Sure. I think right now it's a lot of uncertainty about their own academic schedules and also for summer internships because the culture in Singapore is you will have to take an internship in summer usually, but then with the current situation, I've heard of operations wise they are super lost as to what to do now because you have to know that like we all know that this batch of LCEBs they just started their term in February with a lot of motivation, a lot of passion, but then now with everything it's like you stop them right as they were dreaming. So what are they planning to do? They gonna look into virtual member engagement. Today I just downscaled the virtual team standards to the LCP, so they will look into that. And then the LCs are actually talking about planning on August member recruitment already, because no matter what happens to exchange, you'll still need your members. Yeah. and then try to get their EBs like on boarded on that. So what's their feelings? It's like very anxious and detached, and basically everyone is like a headless chicken right now.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyone else you want to share in this space? Like anything that you want to share about the member? Okay. I think Faudi want to share. Oh, nice. Hi, Faudi. Do you want to share?
You love one. Okay. So actually, like, I think I'm quite similar to what others have shared, because currently, like, from my conversations with my LCPs, like they always told me that at the beginning of the semester academic year, they were super proactive, they were super engaged with the organizations, but then suddenly, like, because of the universities release a statement that the classes would go for online, and then like the outbreak happens quite bad in Indonesia right now. So they you imagine, like, you have a very good spirit, and then suddenly, like, there's something that stops your energy and then like your motivation to do what you believe in. So that is something that actually what they're feeling right now. So they're quite lost, they're quite confused at the same time, like they're quite disappointed with the condition. But yeah, again, I think same with the other people as well, like what they really want to do is actually how to really engage the members, because again, like they're super aware that the LC succession will happen in the next month. So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So the thing is, what I'm asking you at this three question, what I'm asking you is, we are also not sure that it is the right insight or not, because maybe the insight, maybe before ABC is the correct one, but maybe right now after ABC, the LC have something different, or the LC have something in their mind that we may not know. So as an MC, I think before we decide on doing any kind of action, it's very important for us to really understand about the thing, do and of the LC member. And if the LCEB, they can actually help you to understand about the thing, do and feel of the member, not only the LCEB, then actually we can have a deeper insight about what are they doing. Because because what you can because what we, before we starting any kind of plan, we need to see what gonna be the clear insight in their mind at this moment. And also something that I think as an MC you can consider in taking forward when you understand about the context, not only the internal context, but you also can look into the external context. Because what I can see from the inside of the network right now, actually AB is the region that we have the kind of situation, the virus situation happen sooner than other region, and which means right now when other at this moment our region inside is not the same other region inside. Actually, most of the people, they already come up with something that they want to do, or they may think about some, like a lot of company already come up with something that they think they can do, and they are starting to working on the strategy, so that when everything is over and when everything is over, their company can grow the fastest. And I think actually in ISEC, this is also the same with our ISEC context right now. Maybe we are facing this kind of challenge, but at the same time, the insight that I can see from the network is we're gonna be the region like everything gonna finish sooner, because to be honest, the government in AP, most of them know how to manage the situation, and they learn from the case practice in the past of shock 2003 and third. So from this kind of, and that's why I think the first thing that when you wanna start to do things right now is you can look into the inside of the member, and when you can figure out what is the real inside that the member think, do and feel right now, then you can actually working on the plan to see how you can do the internal communication, and you can do the member engagement strategy better. Because right now, I'm for sure after ABC, a lot of people already change their minds, at least based on the feedback that we got. So maybe right now the member is start to think about, oh, I actually can have a lot of chance to do discounting, or even in lead management, I actually have a lot of things to manage at this moment. not only just like this moment is not like the time for us to be free, for example. So I think yeah, let's have a look into deeper into the insight and keep asking your MC team and keep asking the LCB network about what is the thing that actually the members thinking right now, so that at least you can have one insight about the network. Yeah, I can give, or do I need to give like I can give one example. It's not actually about the MC insight, but okay, so I one example is because I know that when we start to doing the icon for ABC, we know that right now the LC, we also see that we also have the same insight with what you are saying here, and we also see that people is bored because they don't know what they can do and they are not connect to each other. So they're gonna be two things. First is connection, and second thing is gonna be about what they need to do right now, or is it like the negative thing situation. So what we try to do in the whole campaign is gonna be, and how we deliver the ABC is gonna be about deliver a positive thinking for them, based on deliver in the message that nothing can limit us, and also in the way that we design the content for ABC and education. Every content is designed in the way that we talk about the ideal situation, and at the same time we talk about the reality situation, but and what they actually can do in this situation is gonna be a lot. So in this kind of way, it's become a consistency, and at the end the output that we expect to have is, okay, so after this day people gonna start to have the positive thinking and take this kind of virus thinking become an opportunity for them to grow. So that's the whole thing that we think about, and we got the insight from the network. Yeah, and I see here there's a lot of people that you have a concern about the member engagement. So I think in this space we can have like the space by space, we can talk about member engagement, and then I can have you to share something about icon. Yeah, so we can go with Rayo. Yeah.
All right, amazing. Thank you, Nee. I think, yeah. Okay, cool. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. Cool, amazing. Thank you, Nee, for that. I think it's important to understand on a deeper level what our members thinking, feeling, and doing in this phase. Because again, as I mentioned, this is unprecedented. We don't know how it might go and what are the effects on the organization we have. We have usually, like in terms of data, we were actually checking about from SOGA and GES that this is the time where we have onboarded members who start performing for the fruit peak, to be fruit peak, right? And this is the time when, since we have halted the operations, and majority of the learning in ISEC is practical. So 70 to 80% of the learning is practical, only 20 to 30% you can give by teaching someone or through webinars or formal learnings of education, right? So since the learning in ISEC is practical, and this is due to COVID situation, we can't implement those practical learnings. So we all have a big question mark in front of us about how exactly members will go through that experiential learning development, which we talk about in ISEC, right? So in this time, in this crisis, there is, again, as I mentioned in expectation, there's no right answers. But then I would like to share some of the things how we want to tackle through this membership engagement issue. So I'm going to share with you a couple of links which the TM Commission, basically the TM crew, which is the whole GST TMs, all the RMTMs and all the steering team of the TM, we have all created this. So the first thing I'm going to talk a bit about is about, your MCPs already know this. I hope they have shared with you in the call, because it was shared with the MCPs in the last MCP call. If not, then I'll go a little bit deeper into this and go one by one. I will not go through each of the slides and the whole material. But then in this touch point, in this particular material, in this particular booklet, we talk about how to engage membership on a virtual touch points. So the material contents of these things, like it's how to have virtual team meetings, virtual department meetings, virtual synergy meetings, virtual one-to-ones, virtual conferences and summits, and virtual national education cycle or virtual engagement education week and things like that. So this particular material contains all of these things. We have given them, we have given a sample agenda, a short agenda, how to prepare certain links, certain useful information in this link. So don't worry, I will also give you the whole all the links later at the end of the presentation. But just like to go a bit detail. Next, okay. Yeah, cool. No, we're back. Cool. So like go through this material specifically. Virtual touch points. In these are the things which we have. Let me type this for you. Virtual. This is the link. I put it in the chat also, and then I hope your MCPs have also shared with you, and the TM Commission already has this. So in this booklet, you can go through this, all these things which I have mentioned. Go through it. This is not the ideal thing, or this is not a checklist or a guideline we want you to follow. But the ideology is this is just a guideline for you. You guys can use this. You guys can share. You guys can take as an MC. You can take this, customize it according to your entity, have discussions within your MC space, or if you're MCP TM, you can host a discussion space within your MC team in terms of how do we want to downscale it for in our entity. So don't take this guideline as, okay, this is one thing, this is what RO has told, this is what AI has told, and this is what we need to downscale. These are just the guideline from our side. This is not the last word. So this is the first thing I will give it to you. Go through this. This has in detail how to execute these virtual touch points specifically. So in this time, the way we are treating it as an opportunity is that the members do not have university or other commitments externally. Like some of them do have like virtual, but then most of them are working from home or at home and available most of the time. So how are we utilizing this as an opportunity and turning it into taking more effective virtual meetings? So this is what the whole guide talks about. We have also given certain important links. Next. So the next one is basically some of wait, sorry, no, back. Wait, okay. Just some of the links, some of the software, some of the virtual tools which we can use. So it not just talks about how to do it, but it also talks about some of the different tools you can use to screen share, web presentation, video chat, and blah, blah, blah. So it's basically just we have consolidated from online sources which we have got in video softwares. So you can use this. You know most of them. Some of them you don't know. Feel free to use it depending on the capacity of your MC. Like the paid tools, most of them are free. Some of them are paid for advanced version. So utilize these tools for membership engagement more. I would highly recommend all of you to go through the particular material because it talks in detail about like as minor detail as what should be the sample agenda, what is the difference between taking it physically and virtually, and so on. What are the GLE you use and stuff like that. So I will go a bit of detail into the membership JD also, which is another resources we have created. Next. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll also talk a little bit about membership JD. So the first guideline talk about how to execute different touch points virtually. But now what exactly a member or a vice president or a team leader or LCP needs to do in this time is also, we have a booklet created for that. And the link for that booklet is ai/adapt JDs. So let me type that also into the link.
Adapted JD, adapted.
Yeah, adapted JDs. Okay, just a second. Right, I hope you've taken note. I've sent it on the group also. So in this particular booklet, we speak about all the touch points for members, team leaders, LCVPs and LCPs. What are the job descriptions they need to have? So each tier's job description and also each function's sample job description in this format. So I will give you a format of each and every department. Next. So here. Can you guys hear? Just a second.
Did you click here?
Okay, amazing. Wait, go back.
Where is the
Uh,
mouse?
I'm just trying to click.
Go back.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're experiencing a bit of a technical difficulty.
Yeah,
I'm
this
trying
is
to change the
this
slides.
is why virtual ABC is very challenging.
You understand delivering touch points virtually is difficult, and
I don't know why.
your screen sharing is paused. So
Can you share by your screen?
can you stop screen sharing? You can stop screen sharing. Sorry. Difficulty. I'm sorry for the technical difficulty, guys. We're just trying to shift the slides and it's a bit slow. I think it's an internet issue. Can you guys see the screen now? You can text yes or no. Okay, it's working. Amazing. Thanks. Amazing.
Because the battery.
It's not working. Yeah, it's working. Sorry. I think it's an internet issue. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So in this particular guideline, we have given the job descriptions by each function. So you have job description for OGX, ACX. You have job description for your TM, marketing, finance, basically back office functions. So what are the things we want them to start? What are the things we want them to stop during this COVID situation? And what are the things they can still continue doing in this situation? So for example, in OGX right now, they may not necessarily have exchanges or IR related things to do, but there's some of the things they can still continue to do is work on the previous realization or break realization from ICB. They can still work on like providing EP support, which are currently realized or which are about to realize, and you're shifting the dates for them post June and things like that. So what are the things they need to stop doing? What are the things they are supposed to still continue doing? So, and the main focuses of each function. So in this particular guideline, we have given it per function, the focuses, start, stop, continue. And then we also go into detail for each function. Next. So this is the one. Cool. So in this, based on the main focuses, what are the specific activities each of the departments can do? So for pre-attraction, attraction, consideration, the whole customer flow, based on what starts or continue in the activities, what are the things they can still do virtually, they can still achieve even though exchanges are not happening. We have given them already in the guideline. For example, they can work on youth speak survey, they can work on customer segmentation. This is the time they can work on more understanding their markets. This is the time where they can do market research related activities. This is the time they can do content related activities, making sure that they have enough content for promotion and things like that. So we've consolidated the activities. Now, when you guys read this, please take note that this is a guideline created by the regional office and the AI along with the help of TM crew. But this is not the exact thing, or this is not the checklist you guys want to follow, because we are from the regional office side, and more than us from the RO or AI, you guys know better what are the things and what are the activities which are happening in each function in your own entity. So when you forward this to your LCVPs, don't tell them to directly utilize these JDs exactly as it is mentioned in the guideline. We highly encourage all the MCs to create the own versions of each functions, JDs, each activities, each focuses for each of the functions, and then downscale it to the local committees. What will happen if you downscale this directly? They will take it as a checklist, and I want to achieve these things, and okay, again. So we don't want that to happen, because sitting at AI level, we might not have the best idea or judgment of what is the current reality in your own entity. So that's why when you use and downscale these materials, I know you want something immediate to downscale, but don't immediately downscale this to the entity. Have like an MC meeting, MC within your MC, discuss this within your MC team, and then downscale these things. So same for each of the functions. Next. Yeah, this is for ICX specifically. What are the things they can still continue doing? Explaining the partners side, explaining the EP side, that all the relation are shifted. You will get to know more about ICX and OJX specifically in the next session, which we have in the next session. Next. Marketing JD overall. One of the major questions we also asked that since the whole marketing and the promotions and activities and signups and everything is stopped, what are the things they need to work on? What are the things they can still work on? So we have certain suggestions like youth speak or external market research or education activities and things like that. Go through this if you have given it into each detail. Next.
Wait a minute. Okay.
This is specifically for TM, which is already downscaled to the TM commission. You can again go through this. So in TM, what are we trying to shift is how can we make sure that the membership is ready when the operation kickstarts again. So we want to utilize this whole time to educate people. We want to utilize this whole time to work on education, the different touch points in NEC, in the whole customer flow. For example, some of the activities, I was hearing from some other region that how can we, in the induction conference, one of the activity we always have is virtual exchanges or exchange simulations, right? So how can we, through virtual touchpoints, deliver this exchange simulations, or can the IM team come up with certain exchange simulation ideas so that the new membership is already onboarded and also have some practical learning for the simulations of exchange and things like that. So the TM is working on the education part. You already must have seen the academies which we have released. We are pushing people to finish those academies, complete those academies. We are still having a very less ratio of people completing those. So we are working on that. We are also supporting in creating of different NEC touch points and how they can deliver it virtually. We have different booklets for JDs and things like that. So that's what the TM Commission is working on. Next. Same thing with the finance. One of the important JDs is finance become like redoing the budget because of the crisis situation, how making sure that the risk assessment is done. They are doing, making sure that the risk metrics, they are following it. They are cutting down budget, usually cost cutting, risk assessment. All the MCPs also know this part, and they're working in close with finances. Even regional office and AI is working on these things. So this is the main focus of finance department and their JDs. Next. There are some useful links in this. And last but not the least, this is the material link which we have is previous one. It's fine. The last link is the first one here, which is the virtual team standards. We still need all the team leaders to deliver all the team standard to their members on a virtual level. So in this particular booklet, you will find that how to deliver all the team standards, but on a virtually. So let me send you the link. So this is the link.
Just sent.
Oh, sorry. For everyone. Okay, let me send you the link. This is the link you can utilize as a guideline and share it with your network also. So this is the team standards we want to be able to deliver on a virtual platforms. And last but not the least, this is something I want to talk to. This is something I downscaled it in the virtual APC also. So you can take a snapshot of this, like a useful TM material stream coming from the AI side. And another thing which I want to focus on in this is membership experience design. So this is something which is a TM strategy which we're downscaling to improve the membership experiences, to improve the kind of leadership development experiences we are giving to the membership. the global strategy is to design and implement membership experience design, right? So if you have seen, if you have not seen, I don't know, this is the membership experience, which goes along with team standards and team standard implementation. Basically, all the TM process and team standard implementation is to support the membership experience design. This is where we are putting our membership as a customer in customer shoes and delivering an experience for them. And the 4 phases are recruitment, onboarding, experiencing, and advancing. One of the things you can do in this period is all of you as MC can come together, and also LCP networks and their LCEB network can come together and design an ideal membership experience for your entity. So these are about 30 odd things in this particular membership experience design, and you can create your own flow for membership experience design. That how would you want to implement the membership experience once we are out of the situation, and even during the situation for experiencing and advancing phase especially. So we are already, according to the timeline, we're already done with recruitment onboarding phase. But once this whole thing is done, how are we going to deliver membership experiences? So for example, like in recruitment, I'll just take one example. The first thing is I got attracted. So this is what I will share you the booklet links also later. So this is what putting membership as a customer, and in each phase, in each of the things, what is the question the member needs to answer, what are the challenges they have, what should they feel, what is the role of ISEC, and what is the expectation. So if you want to know more how to conduct this activity within your MC team, or if you want to know more how to conduct this activity within your LC level, you can check out the output of my session, which is in virtual APC. You can also the people responsible for ICOM in your entity are already onboarded with a session, with a similar session for virtual APC, like in the MC onboarding. So make sure that they deliver this session with your MCs within your team and also to the network. And you work on designing and implementing a membership experience design in your own entity. So this is another activity we would want to have you do during this period, during this whole quarantine period. And note that working on membership experience or working on this whole designing phase or working on virtual membership delivery is not the solution to all of our problems related to membership. Let's use this as an opportunity, and this is not just a strategy, because it's a mindset change. Because if you just look at it as a strategy, you will not be able to implement it. You have to look at members and need to understand what are they feeling, basically doing their empathy mapping, and then from that perspective you need to be able to deliver this membership experience. The third thing is this membership experience design which you will create, and the whole virtual experience will also create, is not something to implement team standards or to implement team processes. Let's, in this difficult times and challenges, let's see how are we designing the team standards and TM processes along with the membership experience guideline. I have a question. Should I can take it in Q&A? Thank you. That's a good question, Jose. I would recommend specifically is that you can work with. Yeah, I'll recommend it in Q&A. Just hold on to that thought. The idea is the whole membership experience guideline. Take it as a center and align all the other processes around it, because this is the most important part, because membership is right now the most important asset we have. And understand how do you bring this topic to your LCs and MCs. You can either host virtual summits, you can either host with your LCP commission, LCEB commissions, a summit and downscale this. You can choose to downscale it the way you want. We do not have a specific method. You can choose to do it, but then make sure that you do it as early as possible. These are the links for the for all the membership experience design material. You can check in virtual APC output also, but this is what I have mentioned. And this is something in a very urgent thing we would like all of you to do. So I'll just pause here for like 10 seconds. You can take a screenshot or a snapshot, and we can move on to the next part, which is ICOM. I hope you have taken a snapshot. Please hold on to all your questions. We have a Q&A space at the end.
Yeah. You guys can type the question along the way.
Cool, that's it from my side. I will come back for Q&A part, and I'll give you to Ni in how do you exactly utilize this in ICOMs, and what are the different basically touch points you have in order to deliver this whole membership engagement and experiences on a virtual platform? And what are the different campaigns we have from AI and regional office in order to support that? Yeah, so me.
Yeah. So I think for the ICOM campaign, there's one thing that I think is very important for us to do and make it actually to make our ICOM actually very, very good and it's differentiated with other ICOM. I think you need to understand about the inside of custom of let's treat our member as the customer. So for like because I did ask you about what is the thing do and feel of your member, and then what's gonna be the insight that they have right now. So after you listen to your membership engagement and the design the membership experience, then so you need to think as an MC what's gonna be at the end of like for example at the end of at the end of June or at the end of July, what gonna be the thing do and feel that you expect these people or your network can take action forward, and what gonna be the thing that you want them to change. So from the situation in here, which is the current thing do and feel that you just thinking and you just asking for your network, and connect to the thing that you want to see them at the end of at the end of this July or this June, then the role of ICOM is how you gonna decide the whole campaign, the job to be done. So how you gonna design the whole campaign to be the thing, how say, the bridge to make the people from A to B. So this is the A and this is the B, and the role of ICOM job to be done. So usually why I'm asking you about this is I think to make a good campaign for internal communication, you need to have an inbound campaign, and you need to have a value-based campaign because it's gonna always wins. Usually because I use our account to follow the MC campaigns, and there are some campaigns that I see that you keep talking about things like you want people to do A, B, C, E, D, or you want people to less like just doing things, or talking about some people like just let's try this page, let's try this webinar, let's do this, do ABC. So I think in this kind of thing, maybe at the end you still can have a lot of members join the webinar to equip the knowledge that you design, or you can have the members still know what you are doing, but at the same time the campaign is not gonna be so successfully because we need to see what gonna be the value you want to add for them. So for example, that is the example about the ABC campaigns. We want to make them to have a positive mindset about things, and take the disadvantage become the advantage time for them to develop and to grow. So that's the value that we promote for them and we want to add for them. So that's why the way we do the whole campaign is not just about let's join this page, or we're not gonna boosting the MC be to boost the MC to join this page only, but what we actually do is actually see how they can how we can give them more insight or give them more understanding about the region. And from this part, they're gonna take the action, which is joining the ABC, for example. So if you are doing some campaigns, or if you are doing the campaign very randomly and you don't see the value that you adding for the member through the campaigns, then I think it's very important for you to sit there and really make it seriously, because to be honest, you have no physical touch point right now, and making this campaign very, very value based and really add something for the customer is the thing that you have to consider and do it if you want the member to engage. So how we can know if your ICOM campaign at the moment is successful, and how we can consider to make it a successful ICOM campaign. I'm gonna give you like 5 things that I think you can consider, like everyone can consider when you check into the internal communication campaigns. I think the first part that we need to ask ourselves is whether the topic that you choose to talk about is insightful and personalized enough, so that it's so it can be so insightful, so that the member, when they read the topic and they hear about it, they say, oh, this is so me, like this is exactly what I'm thinking, and this is exactly what I'm feeling at this moment. And especially the key message, like whether your key message is strong enough to make the members say that, yes, this is so true and we didn't think about it before, or this is so correct that I didn't think that we actually can do it. So for example, I would take the example from ABC. So for you to understand it easy, when we choose the, as you can see, we don't use any kind of like high, how do I say, complicated word. Not because we're not good at English. We choose very simple word because we know that simple but insightful is better. And then what we want them to understand is we want to them to connect to the limit that we're having. So I'm give them what's gonna be the limit that you are facing: border, money, resource. For example, ABC, it is yes. So when the member they see in this kind of content, they can say, oh, this is so me, because I also have the same concern. But then at the same time, the key message when I release the campaign is it's gonna be the answer. What nothing can limit a region, for example. So this is the message that is strong because we want them to understand that we can have a lot of reason, we can have a lot of in like things that limit us, but for us, there's nothing can, if we never give up, then nothing can limit us. So it's just very simple, but it have to be super personalized for the member. Then when they see the topic that you want to talk about, they see, oh, this is so me, and the key message that you deliver is so true that they didn't think about. That is the first thing. So, and the next thing, so if you already choose the topic and you already choose the key message, aligned and insightful based on the thing that you have, let's think about what are the key value or what is the food for thought that you want to add through on the whole content. So for example, in the whole content, you want to make them, and you can also ask them yourself that whether the content that you are giving is just telling them what to do, or you are actually guiding them through inner and outer journey. So I'm for sure that every leader here, you know about inner and outer journey. So internal campaigns have to be something that have us deliver the inner and outer journey based on the physical, based on the digital, like the social touch point. So if your content or if everything that you're posting is just about something fun, but doesn't generate any value or doesn't generate any connection, like for example, even you want to do the roll call challenge, for example, then you need to know why you need to do the roll call challenge and what's gonna be the key thing that you want to add for them at the end of this challenge. Because so for example, when we do the OK Buddy challenge, we don't need them to do the dancing. Like the thing is, the OK Buddy is not for them to do the dancing. The OK Buddy is for them to connect with each other, and how they can connect is they can have some activity to do with each other, which is the roll call. So as you can see, everyone do right now, everyone is trying to do a roll call challenge. But the reason why we do the challenge is different from what other people doing in the challenge. So this is something that you need to understand. And next, after you already have the key value that you want to add, so whether the content that you deliver for them is support for those value or not, or whether the production skill that you're having is transmit the feeling or the thinking that you want to deliver. I think for LC is very specific because they are very young. They are the Gen G, which is very super young, and they're not gonna watch, they're not gonna read any long content from you, or if you tell them or give them an essay about it, they're not gonna read. But how we can first ensure the production, ensure the content, ensure everything that we design is very catchy, very easy to understand, very cool, but at the same time it can deliver the feeling that you actually feel and the MC team actually feel to the network. So this is very, very important. So that's why we put a lot of effort in doing a lot of video, because we think that video can help us to transmit the feeling, which is something that we cannot do based on the digital platform. We can only do based on physical. And the number 4 is, so if you already have the campaigns, whether the social engagement of the network, so whether the social engagement of the network is good or not, how the engagement, whether they are react or whether they like it or not, or how the whole engagement thinking. So if you do a campaign, you do very cool, but then no one engaged, then it's because what you are talking is not what they are really feeling, or it doesn't give them any value. So that's why they don't engage. So people only engage when they see themselves in your campaign, and when they only talk when they can engage with what you want them to do. And then at the end, so what is the expected action that you want the network to do? So if you expect that the network after this kind of thing, they can share. So for example, you're gonna run a campaign and you expect that after this campaign, people gonna, so for example, you're gonna create a campaign about no GCB. And you want to encourage the network to be innovate and to think about what they can do. So for example, based on that part, then you want them to share about the innovative idea that they have, for example, in the network, in the LCEB. And then whether they are sharing or what is the content that from the network they are sharing for you. So this is the earned content that if your campaign, if the number 1, 2, 3, 2, number 1, 2, 3, 4 is good, then you can get the number 5. So that's how you can see whether to check in the campaign. So as you know that we also have the global guideline on the internal communication campaign. You can also check here. I think everyone know about it and everyone's sharing about it. Okay, so why I need to show you this, because I think if you, the thing is right now we have no touch point, so internal communication very important, correct? So if you think it's important, you need to invest in doing a great campaign. And if you want to do a great campaign, you need to understand about it. So my suggestion is, instead of you just I think it doesn't matter that you use the global campaign or you have your own campaign. You can do whatever you want. You can take the whole campaign of global, because I think it's also very good. But the most important thing right now is you actually understand about what you want to deliver for the network, and what is the key message or what is the key insight that you want, the value that you want to network to take action forward, so that right now they can prepare themselves for the upcoming time. And this is something that even I give you a lot of guideline or example, it cannot be done except you actually understand about it, and the account manager work very closely with the MCP. During the whole ABC campaign, I work very close with Soulmate, because I know how to do things, but Soulmate understand how network think. So I can talk with Soulmate, so I understand about network, and I transfer the whole message into how it's gonna be implemented and how it's gonna be visualized. So that is something that about the internal communication campaigns that I suggest that you can, just for my suggestion. So I think right now we can have time for Q&A. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I think we can go with from Q&A.
So first question by Jose from Australia. Should we work on work on this by ourselves, or do you recommend that we work on our commission analysis design together? So the idea is, first you can, with your TM commission, especially like with your MC, you can consider the MCP TM. How do you want this to be in your entity? Because this is something which should be directly taken by the TM commission afterwards. Like, what should be the membership experience designed for recruitment and onboarding and all the processes so far. So I would suggest to have this iteration with your MCP TM within your MC teams, and then they can equip you with to be able to do this along with your commission or the respective commission of the LCPs and LCPs and your coaches so far. I hope that does answer your question, Jose. So the second question we have from Chitra is, for the exchange promotion, we can start doing attraction by 15 April, or should we wait for further notice from the regional office? Should we still do summer? Cambodia, we usually have some maybe June. So I think we should still wait. The 15th of April was given because most of the airlines, most of the embassies and everyone, they gave 1 month deadline to still 50. That's why when we did this, the first time we did it for 15th of April. So you should be hearing soon. I believe the MCP should be hearing in the next MCP call about the increase or whatever instruction they are. I will not tell right now. But then right now, don't start it. We are not starting it immediately after 15th of April. So yeah, wait for the further instruction from the AI. Should we tell some membership recruitment? As of now, no. I would not suggest you do work on recruitment so far. But rather I would suggest you to engage with the current membership which we have. So once this is over, once the universities start opening, once you're back to normal, and then only we can start doing the recruitment. Because if you don't want, because it's a high risk for the brand of ISIC also, and that's why we would not recommend it so far. Yeah, I hope that does answer your questions, Chitra. Any question for ICOM? Any question?
The link.
Let's share what's the cool things you have started doing with your membership. Can be specific as well. Thanks, Phuket. Of course, yeah. If you don't have any questions and if you want to share with each other, you can just unmute your mic. If you want to share something cool which you're doing in your entity, just unmute yourself and you can start sharing.
Yeah, I think what Phuket suggests is very cool. Other entity, maybe you can open your mic and you can share to see how we can learn from each other. Okay, Phuket, go.
Hello everyone. I know we are here for us to talk, discuss, right? So for Thailand, I'm MCP. So one of the things I want to share is we are being super mindful about that we cannot do operation anymore. But we have in ISEC, we always complain that, oh, there's so many things that we want to do to engage with members, to have them come out with anything. So what we are doing now is we're trying to implement other managerial tools. For example, if you heard of Agile Scrum implementation, so we start doing sprint in our entity as well, which is something that we are working on very hard. So yeah, basically we start implementing sprint, start implementing like expand agile project during this time as well. So yeah, this is from Thailand. I want to hear from others, from everyone as well. Next, I chose Indonesia.
Indonesia.
Thanks for sharing that. Of course, you can utilize this time to work on some of the passion projects or some of the projects which just take backseat and you can still do it. For example, for me, it was one of the project like compendium update for the entity. This is something I was keeping on pending in Nepal for a long time, and then when I got a time a little bit, then I get back to it. So things like that. Yeah. Indonesia. Anyone else? Anyone from?
I have one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
I have one more thing. Hello, Thailand. So, so we have realized that in Thailand we have with more than 50% of our members are new members, meaning that most of members have never met an EP before. So we are trying to have my MCP here in the call to have our members engage with the past EP as well, because they will not need the EP for sure. And then what are they gonna do when the application for LCP and LCP comes as well?
Right. Thank you, Phuket, for sharing that. That does help. So I just shared another link on the group. I hope you can open it. It's a GCP folder which the TM Commission has created, where we are collecting GCPs from all over the network, not just AP. You can find, I think majority right now Americas are uploading there. So you can find some of the GCPs where other MCs are using, like for ICOM or for different strategies, different products and different projects. Yeah, you can check out the link also, and then feel free to ask questions if you have more sharings. Yeah, you can share it.
Yeah, how about other? How about other? Do you have anything that you want to share some more? Yes, thank Phuket for keeping the time. Very on time.
Indonesia.
Hi.
Okay. Sorry, it sounds like in a legislation. I'm sorry, but then like I think it's not the sharing, but maybe like can be a proposal as well. So since we just finished the virtual APC conference, and I believe that actually our LCBs started to have more connection between LCBs across Asia Pacific. So actually, like from Indonesia and also Singapore, we've been discussing a lot how can actually our members can be still get in touch and also get connected with one another across the entity. So maybe like what we can actually talk about is actually how can we have like a, for example, like a like an entity chit-chatting space or conversation space, like inviting our members and also from my entity and also, for example, members from your entity to have a discussion or to have like a very casual conversation towards what's happening with our organization, what's happening with them, and maybe like because of that, actually we can also share our ideas on how we actually can what is it can really improve the membership engagement, because again, like the membership engagement is not only about our entity but also across the region as well. So that is not a GCP yet, because like we're still working on it, but then maybe like it can be a consideration for us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important that, thank you so much, Faldi, for mentioning that. It's very important for, again, entities to keep in touch and open these kind of spaces for the membership, because international relations is not just about exchanges or just the partnership, right? It goes beyond that. And yeah, in times like these, this is what something we need. Let's make it a GCP and you can share it again with the network. Anyone else want to share anything? I want to know if anyone is doing anything specific for education, like from external sources, for example, utilizing alumni or some external resources for some education topics, or utilizing, I don't know, Mind Valley types of courses for your membership. Is anyone already doing such kind of things for education from external resources?
Hi, my name is Khishali. I'm from New
Hi, Kushali.
One of our LCs are actually partnered with Toastmasters, so they do a lot of public speaking activities / training. So they're going to be hosting very soon, like spaces for the LC members to join in on how to do public speaking and stuff like that. So we're trying to get as many partners as possible, current active partners, to try to host spaces like that for our members. Yes.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, Toastmasters is a really cool group. They host debates and then speaking competitions and everything. I'm aware that's a good initiative. Anyone else doing something similar? Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I can share from Singapore. So for Singapore's case, we started to reach out a lot to alumni and then like documenting what they have been doing in the business field on COVID. And we also started to like showcase a lot of their stories online as well and to our members. So essentially it shouldn't be like, we only do Isaac for our members, but we should really leverage the strength of our alumni as well. Yeah, so that's what we have been doing.
Yeah,
I can share the video if you want.
Sure, we would love to see.
Yeah, you can share in the.
You can share in the group also.
Okay.
Just to let everyone know that after ABC, on the LCEB, they have a group of delegation on Telegram, and also LCB, they have a group for the session that they talk to each other to do the challenge. And I can see that right now the momentum in the LC after the ABC is they quite connect to each other and they quite engage to each other. They quite connect and engage to each other. Like they want to understand and share a lot about the learning. So I think that the suggest of Saudi or that you create the group learning between you and other entities very makes sense, because right now people really the fires here. So as an MC, I think what we can do is how we can keep the fire, to keep it continue. Yeah, and most of the recommendation that we give for them in the whole ABC about the plan that they're gonna do from now until the end of June. Yeah, just one second.
Thanks, Steve, for that. We have some more time.
Yeah.
Anyone want to share anything?
Yeah, anyone on the share, or do you still have any concern, or you still have some question? You can just speak it out. Or you can wave so that we know.
One of the things my LC back in India is doing is they're actually inviting all the alumni and giving them one topic each to talk with the LCEB, like their EB experiences and things like that. Again, to engage alumni engagement and also some training and learning for the EB members. So something of that sort. And that's something on an LC level, not an MC level. I was actually brainstorming with some of the people in regional offices that how can we do exchange simulation between entities or between LCs. This is a very standard activity we do in the induction conferences or inductions, that we have like something as XPA, some random exchange simulations and things like that. So can we make it happen? I don't know, between two entities or IR partners, or even within your own entity, things like that. With the help of IM and stuff, we can have like a fake dashboards to do fake changes, things like that. For the simulation part, and that could be one of the practical learnings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This can be little things, but can be a good time to do major change
correct.
management and LC level that you want to do it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, these small things add up to be a
So,
big things.
yeah, I think this is very correct. Also for MC, I'm gonna working on a marketing nationalized proposal with the MC so that this is actually the time for the marketing in the region to evolution. Yes. Thank you. It's a very good chance, and even you can do it for the LC structure or LC change management strategy.
Yes, we are seeing it. Like if we are actually referring to some of the external resources also, majority of the organizations are going through like a digital transformation because of COVID situation, and they are trying to see how most of the processes can be digital. So I know for a fact that some of the entities at AP are working on building their digital infrastructure, and mostly Sri Lanka for that matter, and they're really working on this. So we can take this time to work on a digital infrastructure, how can processes be digital, again, digital marketing and things like that.
I think you can look into the ABC output so that you can see what we already tell the LC. We don't tell them any direction because it's gonna be your direction, but we tell them the suggestion on how they can, what can they actually do so that they can help better to brainstorm about what they can do in this moment. Yeah, so that you can take the input and do the change management. Yeah. Cool. Anyone else that you want to share?
5 more minutes.
Cool. I have something. For India, we are like what we are trying to do is that for the past 1 week, we had a lot of webinars from the externals, as well as what even Prayog mentioned, that alumni on the local level are doing webinars, and these webinars are focused mainly rather than just giving them basic knowledge. We are focusing a lot on hard skills and soft skills webinar, which were mapped out the basic competence which the membership would like to develop. And from the MC side, we created a lot of workshops for our members, like basic designing, basic content writing, how to build a LinkedIn profile and everything, which is helping them a lot and connecting them to the external concepts a lot. So that's helping out. And in the coming up week for our ICOM, we are planning to get 5 of our alumni who have their own startups or who are working on different countries, or who have been a part of AI, to just promote ISEC as an organization and talking about the current scenario, and we are going live with them. But there's a concern right now which we are facing in the entity, that, and also in the next week from 1st April to 7th April, we are running a national O2O campaign. Basically, the idea is to do empathy mapping through O2Os, and also delivering that particular team standard right now, that each team leader is going to have O2Os with their members, and everyone is going to have O2Os, and we're going to collect all the data on the national level to understand how teams are facing, and it's a good way of engaging the members as well. And it starts from today itself. But there's a problem that India, like, maybe it's in our entity which we have started facing, that the members have started questioning that if the current scenario gets extended more than 15th of the April and the lockdown is still there, what else can we do apart from the webinars which we have been doing, or the kind of department meetings or challenges they are doing? What else could be done apart from all these things? Because somewhere they have started feeling more saturated with the entire concept of attending an online training class or just having virtual team meetings.
Yeah,
that's an interesting question.
Is there any for this also?
That's an interesting, important question. I think that comes with a lot of factors, Kendra, because I believe like if we constantly give, like, there are webinars from AI regional offices with the virtual APC, and then with LC also doing some webinar, with MC doing some engagement. So we shouldn't also overdo. We should also know that how many engagements a member will have in a day or in a week, for example. Like, basically making sure that all the touch points, even though they are virtual, we know how many times are we engaging our members. So that's also really important, that we shouldn't overdo this. And as of now, if this situation extends post 15th April, we don't know, like, we'll be mostly having a comment and a statement this week itself, and how to move forward in this situation. But that's definitely an interesting point. Thank you so much for putting that up.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. Like, we need to see how we're not gonna deliver too much content, but enough.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 more minutes.
I can have one person share the last spot. Who wants to take it?
Yep.
Indonesia.
Which ISEC candidate you want to share?
Yeah, me.
Hi.
Who's that?
Okay, Faldi. Okay, so maybe like because based on the worksheet that we did, most of the people wrote that actually our members are worried about their ISEC experience and also what happened with ISEC in the next future. So maybe like what we can actually downscale to our membership as well is actually how can we really envision ISEC in the next 3 or 5 years, because like again, like their ISEC experience will not only defined by their current membership experience. So maybe because of that, for example, because they also starts their term last February and they still have time until January, for example. So maybe like in this kind of situation, they can start to replan what they really want to do, and also how they really want to catch up with the operation activities, for example, for the winter realization. So actually, like by that, with the adjusted JDs that already been downscaled from the regional office and also AI, we still can also actually fulfill our JDs in the best way possible. So maybe like because like what I did is actually I told my LCPs to really start thinking about like the roadmap of the entity itself. I mean, like it doesn't really supposed to be like ISEC 2020 roadmap kind of things, but maybe like we can also foresee how do I want to see my entity in the next 5 years, for example, and then what kind of contribution that I need to achieve by the end of my term with this kind of situation. So because again, like one of the realizations that I had in this kind of situation is actually like our term cannot be defined whether we are succeed or failed when our term ends, but actually when our successor or grand successor or great grand successor's term ends. So yeah, I think that kind of understanding and also mindset that we need to downscale as well to our membership. So by that, like every planning that you already shared to everyone in here, I think they will be very, very supportive towards the entity's goal achievement in the next years. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Faldi, for sharing that. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a very makes sense thing, because it reminds me about one thing. Actually, in this kind of period, why whether our network can do it good or not is because we train for them to think. We train for them to actually brainstorm and take the ownership for what they are doing instead of giving them any checklist. Because I think at this moment, no one know what's gonna be the checklist to do. No one have GCB at this moment, so it's very important for us to teach them to think. Yeah, so I think it's a good point.
And what you mentioned again goes with acting sustainable values. Make sure that you repost the icon things we are doing. We are showcasing the values and how in these difficult situations also an ISECer will stay true to the values, and we are reiterating those. So I hope this space was useful for you. If you have more questions, feel free to get in touch with us. Feel free to ask us. And there's a feedback form, like the same link where you guys filled the membership entity mapping. There is a tab for feedback. I will highly encourage you to go there right now and please fill the feedback over there. And I'll give you 1 minute for that, or 2 minutes maximum. And that's it from our side in this particular webinar. Your next webinar, some of you are joining also the next one, which starts at 7 o'clock, and you have the Zoom link for that. But right now, please go to the feedback form and fill the feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because this is the first time that we're gonna have this kind of consultancy, so we actually want to have this space. I think that in the upcoming time we also have more space look like this when we have more topic to discuss about. So your input is very, very important. Thank you. I'm gonna come here so that you can know what you need to do. Membership experience feedback. Yeah, it's here. Shoot. Yeah. Okay. Yes, sure. We're gonna upload the output on our YouTube account and share with you the output in the email. Include this one and the operation. Yeah. Thank you for reminding.
Stop recording.
Yep. Stop.
Stop recording.